Okay, thank you for choosing me to be your Dead by Daylight coach. So, of course, this is just going to be a practice session in a public match. So, one of the survivors, I think you said two of your teammates, so one of the survivors is going to be a rando, not following the rules, and of course the killer isn't going to be following any rules right now. And I believe the overall objective, from what I can remember, is the number of escapes is the highest priority, but if both teams get the same amount of escapes, then the fastest escapes is what is important. So, already, this build, I'm seeing problems in terms of trying to be efficient, trying to actually win. So let's take a look at the build first. So overcome an extra 2 seconds on your on-hit burst. That's just a really, really strong perk. In general, any exhaustion perk is ridiculously strong. Of course, you've got balanced landing, which is less likely to proc, but once it does proc, it is absolutely insane. Thing is, overcome, I mean, it's very good, but the thing is, you could use Dead Hard. Just straight up, you could use Dead Hard. Now, I think you guys are limited as to what perks you're allowed to use, so perhaps someone else in the team is using Dead Hard. If that's the case, then this is probably the next best second, and then Sprint Burst after that. Yeah, if you can, get away with Dead Hard, because it will allow you to counter Nurse. Well, you banned Nurse, didn't you? It'll allow you to counter anyone that is extremely potent in terms of their chase is all or nothing. They either down you fast or they're fucked. Blight is really good as well for when you're countering killers. Dead Hard is just, yeah, bad for Blight. Any killer that gets a stun after their ability, Dead Hard is nuts. Anyway, this is definitely a good perk. I'm happy with it. Desperate Measures and Self-Care. The synergy's there. I use it on my stream all the time. However, this is more, these two, I should say, let me clear that up. These two are more for fun than they are for actually winning. I don't know what the meta is going to be in this tournament as for, you know, the skill levels of the players, mainly the killer, but healing isn't going to be something that you want to do against most killers. In fact, in general, if you can get away with it, just don't heal, because healing wastes valuable time, and if you stay injured, then you get access to resilience, which lets you gen rush even faster. Generally speaking, good survivors are just going to play injured, because if the killer hits you once, you're just going to run away and do a gen, you know, assuming the killer leaves you. If the killer commits to you, you know, you have Volt Speed from Resilience, you have Dead Hard to stay in a chase longer. And even if you do absolutely have to heal someone, I mean, self-care, you never want that if you're trying to win. Straight up. I love self-care, it's great fun, but you don't really, you know, you're wasting time with it. Desperate Measures, it would be nice. The only time I'd really say use Desperate Measures is if you anticipate some turbo face camping, and you really want to get off a borrowed time save, but you don't have borrowed time, so I don't know. Kindred, you're playing in a public match, so that's fine, but if you're on comms with a full team in this tournament, Kindred is going to be useless to you, man, because you can just say what the killer's doing. It's, yeah, and plus you can see what each other are doing just by telling each other, you know? So really, one of these perks is what I would consider a good pick for this situation. And these three are all big no-nos. Volt Speed is always going to be crazy good. So if you can get away with it, get Resilience and Spine Chill. Honest to God, they would be so good. They'd be way better than these. Resilience, once again, helps you with Volt Speed and healing, which is going to be absolutely crazy. As for this one, generally speaking, most perks are fine on survivors, but in an ideal world, we'd probably see Dead Hard, Resilience, Spine Chill, and Windows of Opportunity. Yeah, Windows of Opportunity is always nice, so you can know which pallets are up and down, depending on what they've been, you know, which ones have been dropped already by your teammates. Because even on comms, you're never going to memorize every pallet that has been pre-dropped already. So Windows of Opportunity is an absolutely amazing pick. Of course, Borrowed Time is also a nice safe pick because the killer could be camping. You might really want to save your team and get that fourth escape. Yeah, three of these perks have absolutely got to go. This one is fine, though. Anyway, let's jump into the gameplay. There's obviously restrictions on the items and add-ons, so I imagine you've got, well, one of each item, as the rules say you're allowed. You're running the game on ultra settings as well, which is something that we never really see at top level.
Oh my God.
Because, let me turn that down for a moment, because you get greater input delay, which means harder skill checks, your chases are just going to feel not as nice, and also the game's much darker, so you're less likely to see the killer, you're less likely to see totems. It's just a major hindrance overall. I don't think you're playing on console. I haven't actually paid attention to the prompts. No, you're on mouse and keyboard. So yeah, definitely play on minimum. Absolutely play on minimum. Absolutely playing minimum. Additionally, if we're trying to win, you're just gonna want a gen rush. Straight up gen rush. Totems? No. Of course, your mindset is probably, I don't want to get clobbered by Noed at the end of the game. The fact is though, if you can just do all 4 gens in 3 minutes and then have one person clobbered with Noed, you get 3 escapes guaranteed in a ridiculous amount of time. That means all your team has to do is get 1 kill. And if the enemy team doesn't gen rush as hard as you, you win for free. Anyway, when did the game start? We're about 90 seconds into the game and we haven't even looked at a gen yet. We should have done 3 gens right now. Assuming that the rando is being chased, we should have done 3 gens by now. Straight up. It's been 90 seconds. Yeah, we should have had 3 gens done by now. Obviously, that's being a bit harsh. But at the end of the day, if you really want to win, the mindset is, I see gen, I do gen, nothing else matters. Of course, there's corrupt, so you're going to have to find a different one. But you know what I mean? The mindset is gens. That is absolutely the way that you're going to win this. Once again, we're doing more totems, which makes me think, defo worried about Noed. I doubt you're that worried about plaything, because, I mean, just play while oblivious. It's not that big of a deal. You're still running around looking for totems. If you're absolutely dedicated to this totem grind, then, you know, slam on some totem perks, man. I can't remember the name of it, but I think her name's Jill. One of the Resident Evil girls came with a counterforce. That's the one, counterforce. That shows you totems and lets you do them really quickly. If you have to do these totems, bring counterforce. And of course, only one of you can have this. I believe the rules say only one of each perk. So, bro, if you're the one that's doing all the totems, bring counterforce, get them done quickly. But in an ideal world, you just won't do them. Right now, if the enemy team is good, I think just from the start of this match alone, we've already lost. I'm not trying to be a prick here. I'm not trying to be like, you know, pessimistic or horrible like that, but genuinely, gens, the reason survivors are so strong is because of how fast gens go. And if the tournament is solely on escapes and not points, against a Wraith as well, yeah, we should just be absolutely plowing gens. And I think, assuming he even brings Noed, if he gets that one person with Noed, so what, you got 3 escapes in 3 minutes? The enemy team's not going to match that. Okay. So far, so good with that chase. I'd love to see windows of opportunity right now as well, actually, just because I can't see a fucking thing. The game's so dark. And then you've gone straight back. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Straight back on a gen, I'm not going to complain. Unless you're looking for a totem again, then I will complain. But no, generally speaking, gens, you just want to absolutely, like, we're what, 3 minutes into the game now? We haven't done a single gen? That's not like a you problem. This isn't like, I'm not saying you as an individual are trolling the game right now. I'm saying the collective team right now is throwing. Just because of how long we're waiting to do these gens. And if it is like a sweaty tournament, let's say you get a prize pool for it, you know, you get like a, you know, a few £100. That's banging. You want to be doing gens. Right, let's see how you can play this TNL. I think he gets a guaranteed hit here. That's fine. Right, take the overcome to go to a much safer loop, I hope. Fair enough. Nice. Right, this is what we call a medium one, and against a Wraith, we're going to want to pre-drop that. If we can, nice. We're very lucky he didn't body block that properly. In fact, let me just talk about this a little bit more, just so that you can know for future reference if the killer can body block pallets properly. And let me just wait till you're looking at it properly. Right, so this is... In fact, it's not even a medium, actually. We've got a really nice angle there. Never mind. Never mind. Nice. In future, though, definitely play the longer angle. On any leap you can, always play the longer angle over the shorter one. The only time you want to play a shorter angle is if you've been looping the killer for 3 or 4 loops now, and they're getting close. But they're not close enough to hit you at the short one, but they are close enough to hit you at the long one, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Cool. He's left us right now. Should be straight back on a gen. Unfortunately, we are going for the self-care. It is a safer play. It is absolutely safer. But if your team is on the same page, and you're all just doing your gens, you're going to be fine injured. If you look back at any of my YouTube videos from like a year or 2 ago when I didn't play Troll and I actually tried to win, you'd see every match I would just be injured for the whole game because I just didn't give a fuck. It's just the optimal way to play. Plus, you don't have to worry about the inevitable mind breaker, which the killer will probably bring in this tournament if he knows that you guys are each going to have an exhaustion perk. As for now, we're doing another gen, which is good. 6 minutes into the game. I think the game only started at 1 minute 30 because of the loading screen. So, what, we're 4.5 minutes in here. We've only done one gen. That's rough. That's rough. Hopefully, North can loop the killer for long enough for you to get this whole gen done. But we're seeing so far, really. Desperate Measures has done not much for us, right? It's given us 12% faster self-care. We might as well bring botany knowledge in reality, right? We might as well. It's just, it's more consistent. And it helps if you end up getting your hands on a medkit as well. And plus, once again, that was 30-something seconds we could have spent on a gen, you know? So yeah, we absolutely probably should have gone straight on a gen. Not much to talk about right now, of course, since you are on a gen. I think it's a good habit to get into you as well, since you're not using Spine Chill. Keep looking around, if you can. I know it's not like a Myers or a Ghostface, so they're not going to come out and grab you, but it's still nice to see. He could be to the right of you right now, wandering about, and it's just nice to know that information. Survivor gets a lot of free information just because of their third-person camera, and there's no reason to ever turn down free info. Okay, so we know he's to the right now. Alright, he's got pitchy pants, alright. We're running back for this, I'm not sure why. Maybe we can sab it? No, we've got no charges. I'm going for a fast spot as well, so now he knows what's up. No, he's not too bothered about that fast spot. And you go to the gen. Nice, this is good, this is good. Wasn't too sure what the plan was there, running back. I was gonna say, just go on a bloody gen, and you did go on a gen, so good job for that. We're finally catching up on gens right now. The game's been going on for about 7 minutes now as we hit the 8 minute 30 mark. So about 7 minutes now. He's only had 2 hooks. Assuming your tournament killer is a tournament grade player, he would have had at least 6 hooks by now, considering we're, you know, 7-something minutes in the game. So we are getting a little bit, we're getting 24% speed bonus here on the heels, but we could have 33 if we had flower, or botany knowledge, sorry. I'll call it flower. Yeah. So Desperate Measures definitely not doing a lot for us here.